Welcome back to pitch side here in Super Value Park Equive. Gaelcolaiste Vera AG. They gave CBC a big fright here in the second half. We were looking towards half time and we thought you'd have a big half to do, and you did turn up in the second half. How did you manage it in the dressing room wise? Because it looked like CBC were well in control at half time.
Yeah, it does spur me hard. Gormaga Tasha Gunte Veon Sog is a kind lad. Look, the message was simple at half time. We either do it or we don't, or we either go home with our tails between our legs, and the players just took over then, and then the management team just stepped away, and then you had leaders there like Craig Sullivan or Captain Luke Hurley, Chassis Suez Galardis, Shomer Festes, and there was a bit of wax in the ears, Mihal, because basically the effort in the first half was not of the standard of what we expect, of what the school expects. So, but like, hats off to the players. Like, that second half, they just worked. They just worked their socks off, and we took, like, our first half we probably lined out a strategy which we probably didn't do all year. We were hoping to catch Christians off guard, playing three guys in the full forward line. We hadn't been doing that all year, but when they reverted in the second half to the game that they were used to, we play an extra guy in the back, one guy up in the D, and then just trying to get our hands on the brakes and just running through the lines. They probably looked more comfortable, and in hindsight the management probably got that wrong in the first half, but look, it worked out in the end. But Mihal, I'm a past pupil of the school. Never in my wildest dreams have I seen the Callan Cup come to the school 2 years in a row, and there's been fantastic Mon teams over the years, but they've failed to do that. So hats off to the players, and I mean, it's all about the players, and I'm just delighted to be here, to be part of it, and just experience it as a past pupil. My heart is beating blue and white at the moment, man.
Sean O'Ga, pick out a few players. I noticed that you don't Luscan Lawn, you dropped him deeper in the second half there. He was like a sweeper inside the back line. Josh Obrastakan was brilliant. His goal was outstanding.
Like, we needed a bit of magic from somewhere. And in fairness to Josh Brosnagan and Josh Barzin from the Glen, he provided that. He was fantastic in the second half. The work rate, he just ran himself to a standstill, getting his hooks in, blocks in when he was on the ball. He was pushing forward. And, I mean, he well deserved that goal for himself. And we're delighted. He was a leader. Craig O'Sullivan picked off nice points there in the second half, got into pocket. Luke Hurley worked hard. Callum Coffey, I mean, he mightn't get the scores on the scoreboard or the score sheet tomorrow when you read the report, but the work that he does off the ball is like invaluable to the team. And I suppose our final message, you're on about word, our final message is that we had 11 players there that will never wear the fame blue and white, and we put it to them, 30 minutes, this will be your last 30 minutes for the school. Just do it for the school, lads. And Yarna Sheeds, go train, Sadarno la, August Tommy Dolawala, Leshin Curran, August Tagakin, Satush Carton Car, Haravera Medoc.
Yes, Sean Og, they were absolutely outstanding. We gave Craig and Josh a joint man of the match. We thought they were brilliant. Craig, we make out, maybe got 4 or 5 points in play, and Gavin popped over a few good frees as well.
Yeah, like Gavin was asked to take a few clutch frees. I know he missed a few which he'd usually put over, but in the second half there was 1 or 2 real clutch frees. The key for us is to not let Christians go ahead. So when they drew level, we were able to get a free, and Gavin stood up, in fairness, and when he stood up to the Aki, and he was able to nail it over, which gave us a bit of breathing space. It's amazing mentally, a point ahead, kind of. You want to run harder, you go to the break much harder when you're a point ahead rather than a point down, and we were able to do that. I must say hats off to Christians, like, this was a great game tonight. It takes 2 teams to make it, and we knew after beating them in the Hartley Cup, the second round of the Hartley Cup in the group stages a couple of weeks ago, we knew it did bring the whole shooting gallery, and like, they played like AC/DC tonight, lad. They brought it to us, and their intent from the get-go when they got the goal, and then they had a fantastic first half, and then we just needed to get the game back in our balance. and probably we shaped up better, or we shaped up the way that we were probably more comfortable, the players were more comfortable. That's on the management. We got that wrong in the first half badly, you know, kind of. But I mean, hats off to Christians, man. They fought to the very end, and then I mean they had an opportunity too towards the end. Like, it's amazing. Half a metre in, that ball would have went in. You know, I think it was number 15 or 13 pulling the ball towards towards the end of the game. Like, if that had gone in, that was game. Like, you know, it's no more than what our group deserve. Like, you know, and I know every team says it. Like, but the time and effort that goes into this, like, you know, and you're asking players to put in time before school. They come in school, they do a bit of ball walk, you know, for 40 minutes before they get cracking in the classes and the school books. And at lunchtime, you're asking them to do more ball work stuff, and then we're up in the pitch after school at 3:30 and like doing a solid session up at the pitch. And we're asking them to do that 3 or 4 times a week. And we probably didn't get the rewards that we probably felt from the Hartley Cup campaign, but look, there was another campaign there that there was a cup up for grabs, and I'm delighted we got 4 more on Deshish in the end of a noct. August, yeah, look, Tan Curran Dull, Arnash, then Dara Blina Sakela, August, Tasha Tilta Gama Igna lads.
And Sean O'Ga, brilliant words. And of course, like as I see when I cover Northmont all the time, there's all the actors there again, and that's what turned around. But finally, before I go, a great night for the lads, and there's something to celebrate in fairness to them. I have to ask you this: there's a gap for Ben O'Connor in Cork inside to help him. Are you available?
Can I phone a friend on this? Can I?
Thanks a million.
Thanks, Bruno.
We'll leave you off. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. See you again.
See you again. Goodbye, Sully. Goodbye, mate.
Thank you.
Fair play.
See you again.
Do it. Okay.